Hello, I am Simulator Deck and welcome back to another episode of Tram Sim. It's seemingly been a little bit quiet in the Tram Sim world. Oh, that's almost another title for a tram altogether. But it's seemingly been very quiet. There's been little updates in the background of Tram Sim, but there hasn't been a lot. We did have a good period there where they introduced the E2 tram, which we'll see in a moment, and people are like, oh good, we've got another tram to drive. That's awesome. And then there was all the talk of the depot and the ultra low floor. There was the little Christmas surprise that happened just before Christmas 2020, which I'm pleased to say you can actually still do. And then once the depot was open, once the ultra low floors were in place, the E2 was in place. There's the E2. Then there was the little line that could, which isn't really a new line, the U2Z between Schottenring and also Karlsplatz, which is meant to substitute for a section of closed underground railway. And then all this happened, and there's been some little updates in the background, and then what? Well, actually, there's been a lot of work that's been going on behind the scenes that we necessarily haven't seen as players. There's actually a new route, a new city, and a new country coming up for Tram Sim. This will be now known as Tram Sim Vienna, as for obvious reasons we're in Vienna, Austria. So the original everything will remain the same, and there'll still apparently be development for Vienna with some more AI trams and talks of more AI routes, but I'm not sure what that will involve at this stage. But what there will also be is going to be a new country, a new city, a new series of routes, Tram Sim Munich in Germany. And not just one route in Munich, there'll be 3 separate routes in Munich to open. Don't have a time frame on this as yet, but there will be Tram Sim Vienna, which is what we're seeing now, and then there will be Tram Sim Munich, which we'll also see here on Simulator Earth. And I'm just going to keep the Tram Sim name. I'm just going to mix up episodes between Vienna and Munich, but needless to say, when Munich comes out, there'll be quite a few Munich episodes in a row as we explore the routes, explore the trams, explore the city. Now that we've got things like the E2, the ULF, and the depot, we wait for more news about Tram Sim Vienna. But now, let's cross to Vienna. I'm Simulator Dirk, and this is Simulator Dirk Tram Sim. And yes, take 3. I did indeed remember to push the button that says game. So you can now see me drive the tram. I was just driving down here a second ago. I realised I didn't hit the tram button. But also, all of this down here hadn't drawn in yet.
Troststraße.
So
Bitte seien Sie achtsam. Andere brauchen Ihren Sitzplatz vielleicht notwendiger.
I still have no idea what she's saying. I still think it sounds hot, but I still have no idea what she's saying. So, interesting news about Tram Sim Vienna, which is this title, and it'll be no doubt probably the next update rebranded. So it's going to be rebranded Tram Sim Vienna. And then we'll have Tram Sim Munich. Now the interesting thing about this is that you won't need to have one or the other. Vienna's going to be standalone and Munich's going to be standalone. So if you don't own Vienna right now, let's say you live in Munich.
Davidgasse. Umsteigen zu 7a.
Let's say you don't own Vienna now, but you only want to own Munich. Let's say you live in Munich. Well, you can own that standalone, or you can own both. It's up to you. There will be a discounted price for Munich for anyone who owns Vienna. So there will be a discount. What there also will be, there's going to be a launcher which you can also use. So you should go to the launcher, stay there, you just go to the launcher, and then you go, okay, I want to buy
Knöllgasse.
Munich.
Umsteigen zu 6. In Richtung Geiereckstraße.
Now, I was going to say, I didn't think there was grass. Now, I'm having some issues with some things taking some time to draw in. But they've drawn in now. And now we can go. So, I for one, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been to Munich, I've been to Berlin. Oh, this is bad. This is very, very, very bad. That just does not look like trains or trams can go there at all. So if there's anything that I'm... Now what I've done, and this might improve things, I've actually turned off in the background my file backup system. So hopefully those, and I didn't think it was actually doing anything, but it obviously was.
Matzleinsdorfer Platz. Umsteigen zu 6. 18. In Richtung Burggasse. Stadthalle 62. In Richtung Leins 14a. Badener Bahn nach Baden.
Now some of those announcements are new, and that'd be because I haven't played Tramsim for a while. Oh, that's not good. So I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been to Munich before, So I'm looking forward to exploring the city in the same way that I was looking forward to exploring Vienna when Tram Sim first came out. So for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to keep all of the Tram Sim episodes together. In case you do like trams, you may also be familiar with another tram simulator, which is called Lotus Tram Simulator.
Kiebergasse. Umsteigen zu 18. In Richtung Schlachthausgasse.
Lotus Tram Simulator is... I've seen it. It's a series of train, bus and tram simulators. I think it's rather too expensive for what it is. Like, if you wanted to buy trams, buses and trains for say $60, that wouldn't be so bad. But instead, you know, it might be $60 and all you get is one tram line and one train. And then if you want to do trains, and the graphics are nowhere near as good as what they hear, from what I've seen, they're nowhere near as good as what they are here on Tram Sim. Now it's interesting I say that because the part of the team behind Tram Sim Munich have actually developed that route for Lotus Vienna before. But I've seen some videos of work that's in progress for Munich, and it's looking fantastic.
Laurenzgasse.
I don't have reports before that the new update is actually worse than what has happened what it has been before, and that some people have basically said that this is unplayable. And unfortunately at this point in time, wow, that's really late. This point in time I'm really tempted to agree. I thought it was just because I was running my file backups at the same time, but I've turned that off now.
Johann Strauß Gasse. Umsteigen zu 13a.
And I really don't like to present it like this, but this is the way that it is for me right now. Like I've got a pretty good system, and it should not be appearing like this for me. And this is really bad. This is really bad, and I hadn't played Tram Sim for a while because I knew that nothing had really been done. But yes, I know that there was an update, and some people have said that this update has made gameplay basically impossible. And as I said, at this point I'm likely to agree, which is a shame. You know, I was thinking anyway, even before starting this session, I was thinking, oh well, this will be the last Vienna episode that I'll make for a while because nothing really is happening. Now, we haven't got as many people on anymore. Yeah, we can't keep going like this, unfortunately. You know, I don't want to have an episode that's 20 minutes long. But I don't think... Now, I just pressed escape for the pause menu, and... Okay, now it's come back. We'll see how long... Now, I had some internet tabs open using Google Chrome. Now, I've closed that. Now there's nothing else really that I can close now. Yes, I am recording this. That does add something to it. Backside. So we'll see now how far we can get. But I'm pretty confident in saying that in this form, this will be the last episode of
Meierhofgasse.
Vienna for a while, unless something good happens in terms of, you know, there's a new route, there's a new tram, etc. I'm pretty much at my limit of how I can explore the city. I've driven all the trams, I've driven to the depots, I've basically drove the scenarios before they were actual in-game scenarios. I've driven similar things. So unless there's extra rolling stock or there's an extra part of the route or extra parts of the map that I can play with, there's not much else that I can do with Vienna. I am looking forward to Munich. Don't have a date on it yet. Some stage this year. It's basically September at the earliest that you're watching this. So we're being told this year, possibly a matter of weeks before Munich comes out. And when the Munich episodes come out, I'll do what I did with Vienna, and it'll be on this playlist on YouTube.
Paulanergasse.
It'll be on this playlist on YouTube, whether you're watching it as Tram Sim or as you're watching it as the Ding 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 playlist. Now it's taking a while drawing again. So the Munich episodes and the Vienna episodes, they'll be on the same playlist, so you won't have to worry about that. If you haven't seen previous episodes, if you haven't seen the depot, for instance, if you haven't seen the the ultra left wall, which we just saw. If you haven't seen how I discovered how to switch tracks, there's a lot in the playlist that you'll be able to go back to. If you like trams, no doubt you do because you're here. There's also another series based on a DLC of Train Simulator or Frankfurt Tram Simulator. I need to get back into that and produce some more episodes. There's been a lot going on. In other things that you'll see around Simulator Dirk, Bus Simulator 21 will be out soon, so there'll be lots of episodes of Bus Simulator. Tram Sim Munich, as I mentioned. We've got lots of things planned with Train Simulator, Tram Sim World, Train Sim World as well. And there's a lot going on. Later on, in a couple of months, the new Farm Simulator comes out. There's lots of Police Simulator action happening, so there's a lot going on. And if you would like to know what's going on, subscribe. I've got to record some Flight Simulator episodes soon. I'm going to go back to flight school. And we're going to do that. But here's what you can expect to see around Simulator Dirk when it comes to simulator transport. So that gives you a great idea about what is coming up across Simulator Dirk when it comes to transport. And the bus as well. The buses had a re-announcement of sorts in terms of... I've got to wait for the cars now. The bus with Route 200, more details about Route 200 passing Berlin Zoo amongst other things, and the double-decker as well that's coming within a few weeks as well. So that's that and Bus Simulator 2021. I've seen some clips of that, and boy oh boy, I'm gonna be a busy little beaver over the next few weeks, and of course it's going to be fun.
Karlsplatz. Umsteigen zu U4. 4a.
Hopefully we can go now. There we go.
Oper. Karlsplatz. Umsteigen zu U1. U4. D. 2. 71. 2a. 59a.
Almost timed it well, not quite. Still had to stop. Committed now.
Burgring. Umsteigen zu 57a.
Oh, I've given myself zero opportunity to see that sign now, but I know that I can work off the traffic lights themselves. So even though this might be the final episode of Fantasy Vienna now, doesn't mean that this will be the last that you'll ever see of it, so rest assured of that as well. If there's something new to show you, certainly show it. Hopefully there'll be a new route. I don't know when, but that'd be nice to see a new route. Better not go now. Hang on, we'll just... There we go, that's better. So I couldn't even see the yellow dot because the track where the yellow dot was hadn't drawn in yet. And I should also point out that this is the first time that I've played Tram Sim in a while, and it's also the first game of anything that I've seen that happen in a while. So one of the things that's happened.
Ring, Volkstheater. Umsteigen zu U3, 46, 49, 48a.
Now, one of the things that's also happened, Tram Sim uses the Unreal Engine, which basically drives the tram and drives the sim underneath. And Train Sim World also uses the Unreal Engine. Now, what Train Sim World recently did, they announced a new series, if you like, called Train Sim World Rush Hour. And so it's meant for passenger commuter routes, and so they add heaps of trains in the peak hours, lots of people, and they're marketing them under the Train Sim World Rush Hour title. But what they also did with their previous routes, they updated to a new version of the Unreal Engine. So what they had to do a lot of work in the background to re-engineer what they'd already done to make it compatible with the new Unreal Engine. Now the same has been done here, although it could be argued based on what I can see, there's still some bugs. And even the developers themselves have said, for some people, the new version may not work as well as the old version. And
Parlament. Umsteigen zu 2 in Richtung Dornbach.
And it's something that the developers would be well aware of. And so that would also be a contributing factor. Now, unlike if you like some titles that I have, I'm participating in the beta program so that I get in advance things that are coming up, new features that are coming up, but they may not be stable because they're still under development. There could be, a few updates or whatever until the public version comes out. But in this case, in Tram Sim, I don't think I can wind back and say, okay, I don't want to be on this new version of Unreal. I want to wind back. I don't think I can do that.
Rathausplatz, Burgtheater.
Some people might say, oh, it's just a thing that happens. And yeah, I get that it's a thing that happens. But overall, the way things are at the moment, if this is going to keep happening, I can't continually have that in my gameplay. I'm sure the developers are working on things in the background. And one thing that I really like doing, follow the main developers and the main studios.
Schottentor. Umsteigen zu U2. 37, 38, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 1A.
I follow the major studios on social media, so when a change log comes out, I do like to read what's actually changed, and there'll be some things that I'll see in there, and I'll think, okay, cool, I haven't recorded an episode of Tram Sim for a while. Oh, they've just added, hypothetically, they've just added a new route, or they've added a new tram. Let's go and play it. And then there'll be other updates that'll say, oh, we've made some adjustments to the AI. Okay, cool. Might not mean I want to do a new episode about it. You know, or they've changed a signal. They've changed a series of signals that weren't working, or they had some signs in the wrong place or whatever. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, that's awesome. But it doesn't mean that I want to go back and...
Börse. Umsteigen zu E. In Richtung Nussdorf. 40A.
Doesn't mean that I want to go in and create a new episode or play for an hour. Or to go into another type of series for a moment, Police Simulator Patrol Duty, as an example. Now, up until recently, even if you played in the middle of the night, it was still showing as daylight, because it hadn't progressed far enough yet. It hadn't progressed far enough yet where they hadn't incorporated the proper night. And then when I saw the update, and one of the things was, oh, we've got a proper night shift now. Sweet! I went back and I recorded a few episodes. Yeah, that was very good. So I recorded a few episodes. But one thing that I did notice, if the shift starts at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it never gets dark. Say the shift goes from 4 PM until midnight. It doesn't get dark because they haven't worked on that yet. That's close. They haven't worked on that yet. Now, if the shift starts at 10 PM, it's dark all the way through.
Schottenring. Umsteigen zu U2. U4. 31. 3A.
But then again, depending on what each game's doing, if, say, the police cars are a particular problem, and then you see the change log, new handling done for the police cars. Sweet, I'll go and I might give the police cars a drive again to see if they're okay, because I don't like driving them at the moment. On the bus, for instance, they have just done an update where they've changed some things around the airport. Maybe a bit longer. No, that hasn't drawn in again. Let's see what happens if I try and drive where there's no track. Now that's where I stop. I think it was called The Tram Couldn't Slow Down. It just looks like I'm driving through through sand at the moment. Just looks like a... You know what it did look like for that little second?
Salztorbrücke. Umsteigen zu 2a. Flughafenbus.
Change here for airport bus.
Bitte seien Sie achtsam. Andere brauchen Ihren Sitzplatz vielleicht notwendiger. Connections to airport bus.
Nailed it. What it did look like for a second, those trackless trams that really should just be called buses in China, that's what it looked like there for a second, but it just looked like I was driving a tram on the road. That's exactly what it looked like there for a second. But now is probably as good a time as any to leave it. I've been Simulator Dirk, you've been wonderful. Don't forget to subscribe so you find out when new episodes are. Train and Tram episodes come out on Thursdays, Bus and Truck episodes on Tuesdays, Flight Simulators on Fridays, if you like transport. The next episode that you'll see, unless they really surprise us and do something in Tram Sim Vienna where they have a new tram or they have a new route, the next episode that we'll be seeing, probably in a few weeks' time, will be Tram Sim Munich, and we'll look forward to discovering that together. Anywho, I've been Simulator Dirk, you've been wonderful, thanks for bearing with me during this episode. I don't think I'll go any further at this point. I've basically said what I wanted to say, and really looking forward to Tram Sim Vienna improving so we don't have the issues that we've seen, and also looking forward to Tram Sim Munich. I'm Simulator Dirk, I'm out of here, bye bye for now.